Hey everyone, what's up? It's me, lo-fi musician and producer, Blue Sirens, and I have to tell you something. I have a confession to make. I was wrong. Well, kind of. So, earlier in the year, or I guess early or late last year, in like November or so, I said you should totally make Christmas covers, holiday covers. And, well, I think you still kind of should. I'm gonna eat my words a little bit. I did 2 Christmas covers this year, Jingle Bells and A Christmas Tree, and I thought they're going to be great, they're really going to take off, but didn't really. And I realized this when I was doing my 2024 recap, which I have a link below. You can take a look and learn everything that I learned from all the songs I released. And I realized my Christmas songs didn't really do that well. And it's January, and no one's gonna listen to Christmas music, so they're not really gonna get a second life until December of 2025, a whole year from now. So why didn't they do well? Well, a couple of things. First is when I released them. I released them late November, like early December, and people were already kind of like listening to Christmas music around that time. I should have released them like November 15th, so that they were already there and I could submit to curators to have them be added to their playlist, or I could promote them as soon as people were, starting to listen to Christmas music. I released them a little bit past that time, so people kind of may have already pre-saved their own Christmas playlist, or a playlist that someone was making already got locked into the tracks that they wanted, and maybe they just weren't interested in adding newer songs to the playlist. Now, each Christmas cover got added to about 10 playlists or so, and they didn't do as well as like a normal release, which is still fine. And even if I had released like an original song during December, I don't think it would have done well. So it just was part of the timing. That was the first thing. The second thing is the audience. Some people are looking more for those original songs that are Christmas themed than necessarily like Christmas covers. I dove deeper into some Christmas playlists that were doing well or had a lot of followers in the lo-fi genre, and a lot of them had like original Christmas songs, which is a kind of strange thought to me, because like there's not a ton of songs that I think that come out every single year that I'm like, man, that's a great Christmas song, or that's a cool Christmas vibe. It's mostly covers, and occasionally there's like a new original that I'm like, wow, that is good, and maybe it'll stick around for a while. But for lo-fi, there were so many songs that were originals, which is great. It just didn't align with what I thought would work well by doing Christmas covers around Christmas time. So if the lo-fi community wants Christmas originals, lean more into that. If they want Christmas covers, I don't think they really do, so don't lean into that. Maybe do some research next time around you're thinking about doing a cover. I think I'm going to do some research next time around when I think about doing a cover as well. And now, this leads to me thinking, well, next Christmas, what am I going to do differently? Am I going to release more Christmas covers, or what's going to happen? And honestly, I may release one cover just as, a fun thing to do, or I think it actually would be a little bit more fun to do a Christmas original or a Christmas collab. That might be fun, or a Christmas collab EP. Because if people aren't really like interested in just original songs that you would put out, maybe any time of the year, they want that focused Christmas vibe. I think if you did a collab with somebody on a Christmas song or a Christmas EP, that would come out pretty well. Because one, you're not going to have a ton of time to maybe do multiple songs, but if you share that responsibility with another person and split the streaming and stuff, that might turn out pretty well. And you can also dip into each other's audiences right before the new year, so you can, when your next original song does come out, you've got more people that will probably hopefully tune in for that new song. But I think what I'll end up doing next year, if I don't do a Christmas cover or if I don't do Christmas originals with another person as a collab or on my own, what I'm really going to do is just promote my older music. It's that time of year where, again, people want to listen to Christmas music, but there's a decent amount of people that maybe don't want to listen to Christmas music, or they have playlists that they've got to keep active and show that they're adding people. And so there's less competition, because if majority of people are maybe releasing Christmas music, or they're just not releasing any music at all, just promote all of your old stuff. There'll hopefully be less competition. You can submit those tracks for curation or for submissions or whatever you want on, Submit Hub, Groover, whatever it is. And, there's not like a ton of songs that are coming out on that day, on that Friday, for them to be like, oh, let me go through all these. Probably not. There are occasionally some people that do release original music in December, but it's very few people I feel like that actually do. And I'm speaking of course, of popular music. There might be people in other genres that are just like, I don't care about Christmas. I'm just gonna release it whenever I want to release it. But I think ideally you're gonna have less competition from other people if they're submitting it to curators and playlist makers, because music doesn't really come out in December. So promote your older stuff, the stuff that you really liked, some stuff that maybe didn't take off that well. If you released anything in November, do a 2-month campaign to where you can promote heavily in November and then a little bit more lightly in December, so that anyone that was kind of interested maybe in November but didn't really approve something, you send in December, they might be like, actually I did like this, let me go and add it. And that was the case for me. There are a couple people on daily playlists that I submitted one of my songs to, Walking with Waves, and I submitted to one playlist, got rejected, and then I submitted to the same curator just a week or so ago, and they were like, oh, we love this, we're gonna add it to this playlist. Now I did submit it to a different playlist, and that could have been the deciding factor, but overall I think maybe it just wasn't that time for that song when I originally submitted it, which was mid to late November, because people are gearing up for Christmas and there's other releases going on. But the last 2-3 weeks of the year, when people are kind of slowly starting to get over Christmas music, or definitely post Christmas, no one's really listening to Christmas music, they're probably, they need stuff to add to their playlist to show that they're active, and they need to give fresh things to their audience. So as soon as Christmas is over, they're like, man, I don't gotta worry about it, I've already had these other tracks that people have sent me. So again, I'll admit I was a bit wrong about Christmas songs being a huge success. I do think mine were I liked mine. I thought they were going to do a little bit better. And again, I learned the timing for these things are super important. Make sure I'm releasing them early and sending them to playlists and curators early enough to where as soon as it's time for Christmas music, they're already on the playlists. And if I'm not going to release Christmas covers, maybe think about doing some Christmas originals or some collabs, or just promote some of my older music. So that's how I'm going to handle December next year when it comes time for that. We got a whole year to figure out how I want to do that, and make new collaborators and think about Christmas covers I'm going to do. But what about you? Did you release Christmas covers? Did they go as well as you thought they would? What about Christmas originals? Did those do great? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.